Hello and welcome to Bridging the Gap. I'm your host, Todd Johnson, and today we have a very, very special guest. First of all, I want to introduce to some and present to others an organization called Adoptables. Could you explain to us what Adoptables does? First, tell us your name.
Sure. So my name is Krista Policella, and I'm with Philadoptables, and we are a nonprofit organization that supports the Philadelphia Animal Control Shelter. We've been around for about 6 years, and our primary function is to support the city shelter. So everybody knows city-run programs are usually limited in their funding, so we pick up and purchase a lot of the things that the shelter cannot afford on their own.
Now, Philadoptables, for those who don't know, I had the fortune of being able to go online and look up some things. You have several programs that we'll get into later.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you first, how did you get started in this line of work?
Me personally, I graduated from college about 7 years ago, and when I was done, I was kind of looking for something to do to fill some of my time, and I thought it would be a great idea to volunteer with animals. So I started volunteering at the city shelter, made some friends over there who had already started Philadoptables, and I came on as a board member about 3 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, prior to that, had you ever owned a pet? Or?
I had a cat when I was younger, but I had no idea really about much caretaking. A lot of the times my parents had cared for him. I had always been an animal lover, just never had any, been too busy with school and things like that. And then after college, I knew that I wanted to get my first dog, so I found my first rescue dog 2 weeks after I graduated.
Wow.
And he's been with me ever since, and then we adopted Lola about 4 or 5 years ago.
That's great. So you don't have to be a Peter card-carrying person, just a person who loves pets.
Exactly. You just have to want to make a difference in the life of an animal. A lot of animals just look for companionship. A lot of the times, just like we seek companionship in them, and they just want somebody to take care of them. And you know, you learn as you go, and basic love and understanding, and it'll take you far.
Now, someone who might be reading this program says they're sort of on the cusp. They're not really sure if they want to adopt a pet. What are some of the things that you would say to them to encourage them to take that next step in adoption?
Yep, what I would do is kind of go over to some of your friends' houses, friends who have animals, just talk to them. We also have lots of adoption events as well as some of the other shelter programs in the city. So go to some of the events, talk to some of the people there who are familiar with the animals, and just get a lot of experience and opinions about what it's like to care for an animal. Another option is to foster. We need a lot of foster parents who will just take in an animal temporarily. So if you have some time and you know you want to see if this is a right fit for you, if you can make the commitment for 10, 15 years that sometimes the animals live, take an animal in for a couple weeks and see how it is.
Well, I know for myself, I've always thought about adopting a pet. I've never done it, but I'm this close.
Yeah.
As I get older, that need for companionship, as you spoke of earlier. But Philadoptables, when you talk about companionship, relationship, the dogs, the cats, those who are in Philadoptables, how did they get to your shelter? What's their story?
Yep, so our Philadoptables consists of about 7 different board members from all different backgrounds. We all come from different careers, different lifestyles, and we all just share a love for animals. We don't personally have any animals in our care. However, we support the Animal Control Shelter, which is located at 111 West Hunting Park Avenue, and they're open 7 days a week. So anytime you want to go down, adoption hours during the week are 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and on the weekends they're 10 to 5. So you can pop on over and check out some of the animals we have. We always have a great selection of adoptable cats and dogs that you can check out.
Because some of these dogs and animals that are up for adoption, I would assume that some of them have been abused, some of them perhaps have been abandoned, and so they are looking for love just as much as the humans are.
Exactly, and I think the thing to remember with the animals is not all of them are abused. A lot of the times animals are simply surrendered for people who come across hard times. Maybe they lost their house, they had to downsize, medical illness. We see a lot of that where people get ill and they just can't care for their animals anymore. So a lot of the animals have been in great loving homes, but there are some who haven't, and all of our animals who are put up for adoption have been through a thorough screening to make sure their temperament is okay. If you have a dog at home, bring the other dogs so that they can make sure they're a perfect fit. Bring your kids if you have any kids. You want to make sure that the kids are comfortable and as well as the animals are comfortable. You want everybody to get along in the household.
That's great, because I know that if everyone who was viewing this program would go and make an adoption or start the adoption process,
Yeah.
we could clear out a lot of these
We absolutely could.
animal shelters. Yeah.
We could. The Philadelphia Animal Control Shelter sees over 32,000 animals every year.
Wow.
From a variety of reasons. We're pretty much any stray, owner surrender, abandoned animal goes to the shelter. So we do see a lot, and some days, especially in the summer, we can see an intake of over 100 animals. So it's pretty heartbreaking to see kind of all these animals that are just simply unwanted for being overbred, had hard times, anything like that.
Wow. Now, I said to our audience, our viewer audience, we have a special guest with us today, and we've never had a guest quite like Lola.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about Lola and her history?
Absolutely. So Lola came from the Philadelphia Animal Control Shelter. When she was about 6 months old, she was abandoned with another animal, and simply their owner couldn't take care of him anymore. So we brought her home as a foster case, and we decided to keep her. She fit in well with our family. She gets along great with our other dog. Lola is also what is called a therapy dog. So I had her certified to be able to go into hospitals, nursing homes, what have you, and just kind of offer that companionship that people who are in the hospital don't have the opportunity to get. Maybe their family can't come as often, they miss their animals from home. So she kind of goes in and says hello and just offers, you know, some peace and quiet for them.
Now, that's a new concept for a lot of people like myself.
Yep.
I've never heard of a therapy dog. Could
Yeah.
you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a program in which they make sure she's suitable for that. So you want to make sure it's an outgoing, friendly dog that will be able to go up to a various amount of people. So she's gone through a couple different types of tests to make sure her temperament is appropriate. So we did that about 3 years ago, and ever since we've been going to different facilities. So we've gone to a few hospitals in the suburb counties. I know a lot of colleges have started offering kind of therapy sessions, especially during exam time. It's very stressful for the students, and it's simply just a refreshing break. They can kind of just come out. They maybe miss their animals from home as well. They come out, pet a dog, and you can just see their faces light up, how it's something different, takes their mind off whatever's going on, whether it be their college exams or if it's in a nursing home, maybe they're having a procedure, anything, just really to take their mind off of it. And it really does wonders for a lot of the people that I talk to.
So these dogs go through extensive training, and
Yep.
they check their temperament, and
Yeah.
I would assume it's a win-win situation, because someone like Lola receives the love that
Exactly.
she desires, and,
Yeah.
and she fills the gap for many others.
Absolutely. She loves going up to anybody and saying hello, making new friends, giving lots of kisses, as you guys have all been made aware. So she likes to go up to anybody and just kind of to make new friends, and it's that reciprocal relationship.
Now, you've heard the old adage that a dog is a man's best friend. Man meaning humankind,
Yep,
not
absolutely.
necessarily male.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to that old adage?
I think there is. I think there absolutely is. And, you know, any of my friends and people who have adopted animals, and I think it goes for cats too. I think they're just a true companion that, you know, they're always there for you when you've had a bad day. You get home and the dog's wagging his tail, you know, can't wait to see you. And it really puts a smile on your face and just kind of takes away the stress of the day.
Now, I want to throw a curveball at you.
Uh-huh.
Someone viewing this program who may have a desire
Yep.
to adopt, but let's say they say, I have allergies,
Yep.
and I'm allergic. What do you say to them?
I think there's a dog out there for everybody. So if you have allergies, come on in. We'll be able to find you one. And there's those type of hypoallergenic dogs, and sometimes people are allergic to maybe short-haired, but not long hair, and vice versa. And I think it's just a matter of finding the right fit for you. Don't let allergies be a reason to hold you back. Still come in, and we'll be able to absolutely find the perfect dog for you.
When I went online and I was doing some research, I ran across that word, hypoallergenic, because I have allergies.
Okay.
With animal dander.
Yep.
And so I came across that word, and I've been using it for the last few days to make myself look like I have an extended vocabulary,
Right,
which I
right.
really don't. But I was using that term, and people were like, hyperallergenic. I
Yep.
said that to a friend today. He was like, what is that? And I'm like, explaining to him like I'm some sort of genius. But there are dogs and cats and pets for everyone.
Exactly.
So you're saying don't let that be a
a reason to hold you
reason
back.
not to go and view.
Exactly.
And with the intention
Yep.
on adoption.
Go check it out. If you feel like you have a perfect home to offer an animal, or just looking for some companionship, come on in and we'll be able to find you an animal. A lot of it is the dander, so some of the dogs just don't shed as much, or what have you, and we can absolutely find a match for you.
Now, your dog, Lola, she was abandoned, but you got her early.
Yeah.
And you went in as a foster parent and then decided that she fit your lifestyle.
Correct.
And what might a person have to do adopting a dog versus, for say, adopting a cat? Because my understanding is that it requires a little bit of your time and energy.
As the adopter, or just the process?
As the adopter, in terms of having a dog, you need to be someone who has a structured lifestyle so that the dog is walked at certain times.
Exactly, yeah. They are a little bit more high maintenance than cats. Cats, you can kind of leave for the day and come back at night. And dogs, they need to go out, every 5-6 hours, go for a walk, stretch their legs, kind of like humans do. So it's just a matter of, it's an adjustment at first. I know it was for me, just making sure, I can't stay out too late. I have to go home and take the dogs out. But it's worth it. I mean, any dog owner who loves their animals would absolutely say it's worth it to have that companionship in your life.
Well, I know that for me personally, when I saw Lola come into the studio, it was like amazing to see her ears and just to look at an animal who looks to be a great pet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a great pet, and we have another dog, and he's about 30 pounds, and he kind of rules her over. He's the man of the house, so say. So she loves being around him. She loves being around other dogs, and I think it works out nicely to have two dogs. So a lot of times they can play together. You put them in the backyard, throw a ball around, and they can kind of play with each other. So I think that's one of the perks for having more than one dog.
Well, when we come back, I want to talk about some of the other things that you guys do at Philadoptables, because I went online and I read about some of the programs you're involved in, and then you can expand and tell us about some of the other initiatives that you guys have undertaken.
Perfect.
But I just want to say that is a beautiful looking dog. Lola, you're still in my heart. I keep looking down. I should be looking at you, but Lola has caught my eye, and I think she's absolutely adorable.
She is, and a lot of the animals that are available for adoption right now are just as wonderful as Lola. So don't think that shelter animals are broken or damaged or anything like that. They've got a lot of potential, and simply shelter animals aren't bad dogs. So definitely come on in and check out our selection.
All right, well, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to come back. And Lola, you're still in my heart. Don't you go away, because Lola's going to be featured, and we're going to get her front and center. Thank you, Lola. I know you're looking on.
Saying
We'll
hi.
be right back. Don't you go away.
From our campus to the city of Philadelphia. Tune in and watch, because we know you will love LaSalle TV.
Hey fellow TV viewers, are you bored? Are you tired of the same old shows? Having thousands of channels to watch, but there's nothing there? Tired of sitting by yourself on your old mama's striped couch? Sitting in your room by yourself, watching someone who resembles your grandfather? Yeah, I know. I used to be just like you. By now, all hope is lost. You're flipping through channels, wondering what to watch. Boring, 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 boring. Wait, what's this? LaSalle TV. It's new, it's bold, it's great, it's not your ordinary TV.
There's something for everyone at LaSalle TV.
I watch LaSalle TV.
I watch LaSalle TV. The baseball team watches LaSalle TV.
I watch LaSalle TV.
I watch LaSalle TV.
Miro Televisión de LaSalle.
Vedo io la televisione LaSalle.
Я дивлюсь ласальську телевізію і дуже вона мене цікавить.
我睇電視. And you can too. Follow us, like us, and watch us on LaSalle TV.
Hello, and welcome back to Bridging the Gap. As promised, I want to introduce Lola to us. She's been here the whole time on the set, and she's been so quiet, but she is just a beautiful, beautiful dog. What type of dog is Lola, by the way?
She's a pit bull mix. Yeah, we call her a Philly special because they don't really know what she is, but she's very similar to a lot of the other shelter dogs in the system, which are pretty much just type of pit bull mix.
Yes.
She's just a giant mutt.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
But she is gorgeous, though.
Thank
She's
you.
absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
And she keeps licking my hand.
I
I
know.
might have to take her from you. She's really... Well, I wanted to jump right into some of the initiatives that I saw online that you guys are involved in.
Yep.
First of all, you have something called Painting for Paws, or...
Yeah, so that was a fundraiser we held a few weeks ago in which a bunch of volunteers just kind of got together on a Saturday night at a local paint store in Jenkintown, and we just kind of painted pet bowls and, you know, mugs and things like that, and it was just a fundraiser for us, and it was an event that was a lot of fun that we had.
So the participation, anyone could participate?
Anyone could go, yeah. It was you pay a fee that went to Philadoptables, but also helped pay for the piece that you painted, and it was just it was open to the public, and we got a lot of volunteers. We also met some new friends, so we love having events like that where we can kind of get and connect with some of the people that help support us.
I would have. Was Lola there?
She was not. No,
Okay.
it was a humans only event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I read also. I was online. I saw you have another initiative called Hunk for Hounds.
Yeah,
or-
Hunks for Hounds. It's an annual thing we actually started last year, and we're going to continue to go with it. It's a calendar, so it's animals that are paired with hunks. That every month there's a new hunk that we have out there, and we did it for 2014, and we just did it for 2015. So we had the photo shoot a few weeks ago, and it finally all came together, and we have a release party actually this Sunday, and we're going to be selling it throughout the rest of the year. You can order the calendars online.
Would you give us your website address?
Yep, absolutely. It's www.philadoptables.org. And on the website, you can order the calendar, have it shipped to you, and all the proceeds will go to benefit Philadelphia's homeless animals.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great cause,
That
and we had
sounds
great
like-
success, and it's a lot of fun.
Is there a phone number someone could call if they say, well, look, I have some spare time, I'd like to volunteer?
Yeah, actually on our website is probably the perfect place to go. If you go on there, we can direct you where you can go to volunteer, whether you want to volunteer with Philadoptables, but primarily the volunteer base is for the animal control shelter, in which volunteers can go to the shelter, they can walk dogs, they can foster, even simple things as doing laundry and making food for the animals, and there's a lot of opportunities out there. So if there's something you have a hobby or an interest in, definitely bring it to the shelter, and we'll be able to kind of capitalize on that and make sure we find a good fit for you. There's something for everybody, and positive that we'll be able to find some type of activity for everybody.
So the calendars for 2015, they will be sold, are they being sold now? or-
Not yet. We have the release party on Sunday, and then after that is when they'll start shipping out.
Okay, so I'll be on the 2016
You will,
calendar.
yeah. We'll
Yes,
get
I
your
will,
information.
yeah. I'll make sure Tanya and all of them get a
Exactly.
copy of
There
that
you
calendar.
go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But as I was looking at some of the initiatives, you also have a festival coming up?
Yep, so actually it's the River City Festival in Fishtown, and it's on Saturday. We'll be there from 12 to 6, and it's a family fun event. So bring your kids out, bring your significant others, and come on out. We're going to have adoptable animals, but then the festival also has I believe they have face painting, lots of food and beverages and things to entertain the family all day. So I think it'll be a great event. We're looking forward to it. Hope the weather holds out. So
What
come
time
on.
is that event?
It's from 12 to 6.
12 to 6?
Yes, so we'll be there. There's a lot of other groups that are going to be out there as well.
Will you guys be on Main Street? Or?
I think it's in Fishtown. I think it's on Delaware Avenue, right along the river.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if they want to know more, they can just go to Philadoptables.org.
Yep, exactly.
And
Or rivercityfestival.org for that particular event.
rivercityfestival.org.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, with all the initiatives that you seem to be involved with, does it stimulate or does it translate into more people adopting pets?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, it is. We were at an event a few weeks ago at Triumph Brewery up in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and we brought adoptable kittens and a few adoptable dogs, and a lot of them did find homes. So we love going out into the community, as sometimes it's hard for them to come to the shelter. So we love bringing animals out into the community and showing people really that there are wonderful animals out there that need homes. So it does a lot of good. So we like getting out there in front of everybody and showing what we got.
Well, that's great to hear, because I know that there are a lot. I think you quoted a number earlier, 32,000 annually.
Yep.
So we need people to get out there and start adopting.
We do.
pets.
We need to find lots of homes for them. And one of the initiatives that the shelter has is just to prevent overpopulation. So that's one reason that we get a lot of animals in. So really just spaying and neutering your animals, making sure they don't reproduce, so that we can limit the amount that come into the shelter.
Right. So I wanted to ask you a question about your role as a board member. What is it that you do as a board member to try to further along Philadoptables?
Sure. So I'm the treasurer of Philadoptables, and we do a lot of I obviously do the financials, but we do a lot of fundraising events in which that money goes directly towards the shelter. So one of the big initiatives this past year and the year before was putting up a play yard. So while the animals are at the shelter waiting for their homes, a lot of the volunteers can now have a huge area to go out with the dogs to let them run around, let off some steam, work with them on training and basic behavior. So it's something that we're very proud of, and we're excited that we were able to participate in.
Wow.
That's one of
So that's a play yard that you have right there on site?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're located again at 111 West Hunting Park Avenue?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's around Front and Hunting Park?
Yeah, exactly. Right around the corner from there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know, if you want to see Lola, you can go to Front and Hunting Park, and
Well, she's
you'll
not
see,
for adoption, but-
Lola, you won't see Lola, but you'll see a lot of Lola lookalikes. She is just gorgeous. You can lick my hand all you want. You can lick my hand all you want. As pretty as you are, you can do whatever you want to me.
Good girl.
As you can see, this is a critical time. I know some people have some financial hardships, so they may say, well, I can't, but it's not an expensive venture, is it?
You have to be prepared for it just in case. You never know what could go wrong. But I think for the most part, it is a pretty reasonable expense. You know, you've got your monthly food and medications if you need it, and then just to be prepared in case anything long-term goes wrong.
Right.
But one thing I wanted to mention is our annual food drive that we're working on. Every year in December, we partner with WMMR's Preston and Steve. They have the food drive in which they collect food for Philabundance, and they have a huge outcome.
I'm very familiar with Philabundance.
Good, absolutely. So the past couple years, they've partnered with us so that we can collect pet food. Because obviously, if people are coming across hard times, they need food.
Right.
Obviously, their animals are going to need food as well.
Exactly.
So we like to go, we collect food for the animals. And we also reach out to the community to have them set up food donation boxes in their office, in their church, any organizations that they're a part of, so that they can collect pet food to kind of go along with this. So that's what we're collecting. We're starting now to run us through December so that we can get people through the holidays and into next year, any support that they need.
Now, Philadoptables, I know you do a lot of work. I heard you mention Fishtown. Do you do a lot of work in the inner city where you might have a lot of students in schools who need to be educated, perhaps, about pets?
We try to. We haven't done a whole lot yet, simply just because of resources, but it's something we absolutely feel is important. And I know there's a few other groups out there that do go into the cities and do this type of thing, but you got to start education young. So you need to teach people, teach young kids how how to handle animals and not to be afraid of them and to treat them as, you know, individuals that have feelings and things like that. You want them to respect animals as they grow up.
Because I think that would be a great lesson for my granddaughter.
Yeah.
She'll be 8 next
Okay.
month. I'd like to see her and hook up with something like someone like Lola. That would be absolutely
Yep,
heaven,
absolutely.
you know.
Yeah. I've done a few trips with her to the Philadelphia Library off of, I don't really know where it is. It's kind of up in West Philadelphia.
Okay.
And we take her to the library. She reads to the kids read to her, and just kind of show that companionship. We teach them about animal care and what goes into owning an animal, and just really just to get them familiar with it. Some of them have animals, some of them don't, and we like to share stories and just talk about animals.
Well, Krista, you have pushed me to the point where I'm just ready to go out and say, all right, let me go ahead and do this.
Yes.
Because I've been kind of hedging back and forth, thinking about the expense of some of the other things, but there's really no excuse there. But how do you say to someone who's viewing this program, go do it today? Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. This is a great thing to do. What would you say to them if you could just capsulize it in 30 seconds? What would you say to them? I
would just say, you know, having an animal is a blessing. For them to be in your life is just a wonderful thing. You have to make sure you're ready to invest time into training them and making them a part of your family, but it's absolutely worth it, and I've never regretted any moment that I've spent with my dog. So I think everybody feels that way once they have a dog.
And and I've also heard that people who have pets tend to live longer and live healthier lives and so forth. So that's
they definitely get me up early to go for a walk.
So it sells itself. It's just really. Well, I hope you can see Krista. She's
sleeping.
Krista is sitting here next to lovely Lola. Lola might be sleeping on us now, but ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you that this is a great, great program. Thank you for being on today.
Thanks for having us.
Again, when one's on the right, another's on the left. When we reach towards the middle, we begin to bridge the gap. Until next time, love somebody and be nice to everybody. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Did she go to sleep?
She's laying down.